Alright, well, we just finished watching a YouTube video of an author reading Pablo Neruda's Ode to a Watermelon, and I hope you guys really liked it, and I think you guys did a really great job with our discussion that we just finished. And now I'm going to go into a little bit more details on what adjectives and adverbs are. As you may have heard in the poem, Neruda uses a ton of adjectives and a ton of adverbs, and it really adds to what he is trying to say when he is describing a watermelon. Something very simple and everyday, but he uses words that are very unique and really adds to his poem. So let's talk a little bit about adjectives and adverbs, and I really want you to think about ways that you might describe an everyday object, because that is what you are going to have to do. You are going to write your own poem with at least 5 to 10 adjectives and adverbs to really spice up that everyday object. So keep that in mind, because you are going to become your own authors of poetry. Very exciting. So what are adjectives? We'll start with adjectives first. Does anybody know? Yeah, that is a great explanation. Adjectives are words that modify nouns, and they really give more information to the person, the thing, the object. And I have a handout here which is really helpful if you are trying to figure out when to use an adjective. Well, they are going to answer which one, how many, what kind, and they are going to really give you more information on that particular thing. So what are some examples? First, do you guys have any examples? Yeah, exactly. Well, a few examples could be beautiful, complex, dedicated, substantial, modern, full, and I have a couple of sentences here that I'm going to read, and if I could, I would post these on some kind of board where everyone can see them, but they are just on a PowerPoint on my computer for right now. So my first sentence that I'm going to read to you guys is: the dedicated employee drove in the rain to reach work on time. Now in this, what is the adjective? Dedicated, that's right, and he or she drove in the rain to reach work on time, and that employee is dedicated, and that is just giving more answers and more information on that. Another one is: the hungry caterpillar ate all the leaves. Well, what kind of caterpillar was it? He was hungry, so he ate all the leaves, right? And then the delicate and beautiful flower began to bloom in the spring. So there's actually 2 adjectives in that one, and that would be delicate and beautiful. And you could say the flower began to bloom in the spring. But to have a really robust sentence, adding adjectives is a great way to do that. So it would be the delicate and beautiful flower, right? It's giving more information. It is answering what kind of flower it is. Beautiful and delicate. And then adjectives. Now adjectives can be a little bit more tricky, but that's okay. We will go over them. And the answers that what adverbs answer are how, to what extent, when, where, and why. And a trick for knowing if it's an adverb or an adjective is if you will notice the ending of the word. So I will read a couple for you. Gracefully, quickly, cautiously, happily, deliberately, abruptly, slowly. Did anybody figure out the pattern? That's right, the endings, the ly. And that is not always the sure case of it being an adverb, but very commonly that is something that they do. So, for example, I have a couple of sentences. The code is beautifully working on the website, and that is, yeah, beautifully. And if you notice in my previous examples, we have beautiful, right? And then if you add the ly, then that's making it an adverb. And then my next example is the employee cautiously and quickly worked to meet the deadline. And that really gives more details on what, how they worked. They worked quickly yet cautiously. And if you notice, both of those ended ly. And then the sun is brightly and energetically shining through the window. Now you could say the sun is shining through the window, and that'd be a perfect sentence. However, to give it more details, the sun is brightly and energetically shining through the window. And it is modifying shining, which is the verb. And does anybody have any questions? No? Well, that is great. And now we are going to do some guided and independent practice. And then you guys will, for homework, write a poem with 5 to 10 adjectives or adverbs that you will upload through YouTube. And I will have a document that I will give you guys on how to upload your own videos